Afternoon, fret friends. Got a couple of hopefully simple ones in the workshop today from the same client, and a very basic guitar here. It is an Ibanez RG421 1P/04, whatever that means, made in Indonesia. Not looked at it yet. Satin finish, staggered through body strings there. Not checked the tuning or anything. Setup's pretty bad. So yeah, that all needs sorting out. Don't know what it needs. Tell you straight away, the radius is not done on the saddle, so that certainly needs looking at. I would also think we need to look at the frets. Strings on here are really old and worn. Just loosening the strings as we speak. Pickups, don't know what they are. So all I've done with that is loosen the strings just so I can see how straight the neck is. It's a 25.5 scale length on this. That neck is now just about straight. I'm just going to go straight across with the fret rocker. No messing about. It's the first time I've looked at it. Just get the fret rocker on there and just see where we are with the frets. Looks pretty good there. Now I'm just going to do a quick check as they are. Straight down the middle. One high one there, but only one. Really surprisingly very good, these frets. We have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 high frets. Let's check this side. That one's high. So I think we're looking at about 3 high frets, which really is very, very good by today's standards. That's certainly going to bring us in into just the worst and intensive setup. If he wants to pay that much, he may not want to pay that much. 85 quid. He may just want to pay for a £50 regular setup, but it's worth paying the 85 quid as far as I'm concerned. Frets on this really good. I will knock them back in with a fretting mallet before I take a file to them, but for all intents and purposes this just needs to set up a new set of strings, so we're going to be 55 quid or 90 quid. So we'll see where we are. I'm going to go and plug it in a moment and have a little listen to see how it plays. We'll stretch the strings in. I know the old strings. We're going to put a new set on there, we'll do the intonation, we'll do the setup and whatever. But I'll come back with an update a little bit later. I've given the guitar a quick setup on the bench. I've reset the radius on the saddles. I've set the intonation. Quite a few saddles need to move in towards the body end or towards the strap pin because we were sharp on the 12th fret on at least these top 4 strings. I've just snapped the top E string, but I've actually got the intonation done. I've got the radius just about set on the saddles. Just need to alter a couple more, but we can do a proper setup with some clean strings on. These are really, really old strings, but the guitar seems okay. They're very well made, all these Ibanez guitars, even these lower budget ones like this one. Again, very well made. So I've set the amount of relief right, 0.2mm at the 7th fret. Set the action 1.75mm on the bass side at the 12th fret, 1.5mm on the treble side at the 12th fret. Everything will be checked again with new strings on there. Once I've taken these strings off and replaced them, we're also going to we're going to polish the frets. We're going to level those 3 frets that need leveling. There's the E string that just snapped. Wrap this one up, get it in the bin. We'll have a new set of new Diodario 1046s on here a little bit later on. Just going to plug it in and make sure all the pots are working fine and the volume and the tone are working fine without scratching. If I do scratch, it's not a problem. We'll get some switch cleaner in there. Just get this string in the bin. We'll unplug it from the tuner and we'll plug it into the, I've got a little, what do you call it, Spark 40 gubbins here. Positive Grid Spark 40, that's the one. I'll plug into there and just have a little try of that. Okay, I know we've snapped that string, but we can still test the guitar. So at least we can test the electrics. Treble pickup or bridge, treble and middle, middle, middle and well, both, is that right? Both again, or split chords on there. I can't remember how these are wired, and just the neck. Volume's working fine. Tone's a bit stiff, but it's working fine. So we'll loosen this knob and so everything's working then, just that off, that on. Working fine there, no scratchy pots, so we're going to get these strings off. We'll still get the electrics cleaned up, we'll sort that tight knob out there, we'll get some switch cleaner in the pot, switch cleaner on there, we'll get the strings off, we'll get the frets levelled, polished, we'll treat the fingerboard, we'll get some strings back on, we'll cut the nut slots, we'll check every nut and bolt, get a good setup, and that will be that for this one. So, okay, so what we're going to do with this is we're going to get the strings off. We're going to clean, we're going to polish these frets up. We're going to get the frets levelled first, so we're going to find out which ones are high, get them levelled, we'll clean them all up, get them all polished. Once we've got them levelled, we'll treat the fingerboard to some lemon oil. We'll clean all the dust off, there's a lot of dust everywhere. We'll get some new strings on there, we'll get the guitar all set up, give it a good clean, test every nut and bolt, we'll clean the electrics, we'll get some switch cleaner in the pots, we'll loosen this knob which is tight here, get some switch cleaner in on the switch. We'll give it a good proper setup, probably cut the nut slots, get some new strings on there, and that should be good. I have a back plate off behind the electrics to clean or get some switch cleaner in the pots. What I'm going to do first is, with a 10mm spanner, just going to tighten these tuners because they're a little bit loose. Just nip them up, you don't need to go super tight, just give them a nip so they're not moving about. And that's that done. And we'll clean all the dust off between the tuners. It's accumulated quite a lot of dust, this guitar. What I like about these Ibanez's is truss rod cover, you can just slide it out of the way and you can get straight in there. How good is that? Beautiful. So that's that end done. Little dusting everywhere else. Any dust we've got behind these saddles will give a squirt of, I do have compressed air. Guys, just need to move the guitar out of the way. So with some compressed air, we shall just give a squirt. Get rid of any dust or anything hiding away. And under and around the pickups. That's all nice and clean now. So we're going to get to work on the frets pretty shortly. We'll check the high ones again. Bear with me a second, get rid of this compressed air. So we can actually do that right now. Make sure we have the neck straight. Which we do, which is beautiful. Now I don't have a marker upstairs, so hopefully we're not going to get too many high ones. I will take a semi, where's my permanent marker? It's a non-permanent marker. What we're going to do is just going to mark off the frets that have high spots. So far so good. One high spot there, it's not going to take a lot of fixing. We should actually just hammer that one in. And if we don't need to do any fretwork on this, it will be just a standard £50 setup, £5 for strings. And I'll be honest, these frets are really pretty good. I've had brand new Heritages in with worse frets than these. That one's high. And that one's high, but it's the second to last one, so it doesn't really matter. So we do have, we're basically, for all intents and purposes, we have 3 high frets. And that really is not bad at all. So what we're going to do is we always like to support the area we're going to be hitting with hammer. And when it comes to this part, we're just going to absolutely fine there. What have I done with my fret? It's about somewhere. I know what I've done. I've been hitting frets over the other bench. So we'll go here, and we're just going to knock these 2 in. And this one doesn't really matter because it's the second to last one, so it doesn't affect anything, but that is hammered in beautifully. And this one is hammered down beautifully as well. So we don't need to touch anything there. And these, we've got 2 more at this end. So let's just check again. So right on this one. Check again. That's hammered down beautifully. I've got this one. Let's check this one. And that was hammered in beautifully. Check one back. That was a little bit high now, so we'll knock that one back in. And one forwards. And that one is now high, so we're going to knock that one in also. And there you go. We don't need to take a file to anything. So a straight £50 for a setup on this one. I'm going to get these frets polished up. So what I need to do is grab some tape. We're going to cover the pickups. I don't think I've anything knocking about. So see where we are. I know I've probably got some on the windowsill. Don't have the purple one I'm looking for, so let's go with the Scotch 3M blue. So Juan is going to be really pleased because I've quoted in between 55 and 90 for this one, and it's going to be 55 quid including strings. Just covering the pickups up, because I'm going to be polishing the frets, so we don't want to get any filings or anything in the pickups or under the pickups. So I'll just get that stuck down there. Nice simple one for me, this one. I may charge him a little bit for fuel because I've had to pick this up from Nottingham and I'm going to have to drop it off to Nottingham. I've got no plans to go to Nottingham. So I'll probably charge him £5 for fuel. But that's ready for me to level, or not level, just get the frets all polished up. And I'll give you an update shortly. So I'm just squirting a bit of my chosen switch cleaner, Service All Super 10. And I'm just going to a little bit inside the pots, just to stop any scratching. There's not any scratching anyway, but we'll still get some in there. We'll clean any extra carbon deposits. We'll get a little bit in the switch. Again, not causing any problems, but we're going to just let that soak in. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to whittle these. Now these two pots, I've loosened them. That one was really tight before, now it's nice and loose. Just need to pull it up a little. This one again, nice and loose now. And the 5-way, just work that switch cleaner in there. So they certainly will not be scratching. You'll see we've cleaned up the bridge, got rid of all the dust. It's now beautiful and clean. We've got to do pretty much the same for the frets. So what we're going to do is we're going to spray the fingerboard. We're going to get these frets all nicely polished up. We have now got them level, so there's no extra charge on the fretwork. We're going to leave this tape over the pickups because we're going to be hitting this with some steel wool a little bit later on. Every nut and bolt will be checked and tightened where needed. That's just a little tiny bit of a turn there. That one's already nice and tight. So all the nuts and bolts and everything's been tightened at the headstock end. There are no screws on the back of the tuners, they're just straight in there. So all we really need to do now is get the frets polished up, get some strings on, check the nut slots and do the setup. So a nice easy one. So the Ibanez is cleaned up really nice, and it will clean up really nice. Just going to get a spray of what you know is lemon oil. It's mineral oil with some lemon essence in there to make it smell nice, but it is, we call it lemon oil, it's mineral oil. And always go with a little bit too much to start with. Get it all rubbed in. And this is going to do two things. One, it's going to slightly coat the wood, get a little bit of, going to penetrate a little, and it's going to get under any grime, any sweat, any muck. And we're going to have to wipe it off in a few minutes once it's soaked in and under. And while this is doing its thing, we'll get a fret guard, or a fretboard guard should I say. We'll polish the frets. So we'll let that do its thing, like so. Stick underneath, give it a little bit more height. And just pause a second. So let that do its thing. We've got a fret guard, fretboard guard, call them fret guards. There. And that's the gubbins here, straight over the fret. One there, one here. And while that oil is doing its thing, I can polish these frets up. And we just need a piece of superfine steel wool. And we're just going to, with the fretboard guard in place, straight over the top, and just polish them up. These were really tarnished. This guitar has been stood for a long time, not being played. It'll be played now though because it's set up beautifully. Well, it will be set up beautifully, and we'll get some new strings on there. And for sake of 50 quid, or 55 with a new set of strings, but 50 quid because he sent strings anyway. And a new setup, this guitar is going to play really well. And I already know it sounds superb because I've had it plugged in. It sounds fantastic. Ibanez, all through their range, they just make good guitars. No matter what budget and what spec their guitars are, they just make good guitars. Even these low budget ones, satin finish and what have you, they just play and sound great. Nothing wrong with Ibanez. There's too many tin pot guitar brands out there. I've very rarely had anything bad from Ibanez in the workshop, and there's another brand as well I've never had anything bad, and that's Peavey. Any of the Peavey import guitars I've ever had in have always been brilliant. In fact, I've owned a few myself, and they've just been fantastic. Dean, another good brand. But if you want two brands I think are the most reliable and most consistent, it's got to be Peavey and Ibanez. Ibanez just throughout the years, just consistently good guitars. We tend not to turn crap out. It's just good stuff. Even the fret ends on this are nicely rolled over. Well, no, there's no sharpness there at all. I don't know how much this guitar costs. Is it about 380 quid guitar, maybe less? I don't know. I've got no idea. They just pump out good guitars, and always have. You know, so just get that tarnishing and what have you off of these frets. Just a nice guitar. They don't look much. Satin finish, no paint, satin neck, no binding. But the pickups are good, the electrics are fine. The neck's fine. The frets on this, very good. More or less level across the whole lot. 2 or 3 high spots. I've had brand new high spec guitars in, high end guitars in. Much worse. The necks were much worse necks than this. So Ibanez, a company you can just trust. Guitars you can rely on, really. You can see why Steve Vai has always championed Ibanez guitars. Just good guitars. There you go. And that's that. And that's the frets done. And they're not particularly shiny, but they are untarnished. We have a little filings on there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab suction top here. Just going to wipe it all off. And there you go, and just about ready for new strings. Okay, good white, good clean, and I'll let that sit for another 5-10 minutes. I'll come back, give it a wipe, and we'll get this tape off, get some new strings on there. So I'm stringing up with Diodario 1046s. I don't know why I'm using my own strings, his supplied strings, but I may as well stick a set of these on. I'll buy them in bulk, a set of 25. So I may as well go with the set I'm putting on now, and I'll keep his set of 10s, whatever they may be. I'm going to have a look, see what they are actually. He has supplied reinforced plain strings, slinkies, right. Okay, I'll take that off, I'll go with his strings. Fortunately, I need to restring one of my own a little bit later, so I'll put this one on there. How's that? Very fortunate I've got to restring my hammer in a little while. I put some 1052s on it last week and I don't like them. Too heavy. Don't quite sound right for the kind of music I'm playing. If I down tuning, they'd be brilliant. So let me remove this one. And that should go on my hammer. Let's have a look. Might just fit. We'll find out, won't we? If not, I've wasted a string, no big deal. So let's go with these. I have a new tool in the workshop and paid way over the odds for what it is, but what a great tool it is. Are they just regular slinkies? Anyway, this is the new tool. It's a little paintbrush holder and it's got all my tools in there, all the screwdrivers and everything, and it's just fantastic. Cost me 10-11 quid, which I thought was overpriced, but it's not overpriced if it's that useful, is it? That's a reinforced 13 and a reinforced 10. So the top or the bottom 4 or 5 strings are the same, so I may as well stick this Diodario back on. No one's going to know any different. There you go. I do like the fact that the low E is staggered back a little. See it there, look, because it does go further back on the bridge. So I'm going to string this up. When I move on to a setup, I'll turn the camera back on. Good morning, friends. So all that remains to be done on this Ibanez is I need to cut the nut slots. Everything else has been done with polished frets, with leveled any frets that need to level. Did any need levelling? Don't think we did. We tapped a couple down that needed tapping down, that's all. So we've done everything that needs to do. We've done all the electrics, we've squished some wire in there, we've loosened some tight knobs, we've done the intonation, we've done the radius, we've done the height up 12 fret, we've done the amount of relief. All we need to do now is cut the nut slots. And I need two tools for this. Feeler gauge and a set of nut slot files. My Hosco set here. So I'm going to pull a set out for 1046. So you have a 10, a 13. Next one you'd want would be a 17. They don't do a 17, they do a 16. So we slightly angle that. So I'm going to go that route. Just checking what I've got here. There's the 16. Then this side you want a 26, 36, 46. They don't do a 26, they do a 28. Slightly wider. So we'll go 28, 36, 46. And that's the full set there. Well, that's a set of 6 we need. So with the action where we needed to be at the 12th fret, with the radius set on the bridge, we'll do those things first. And the right amount of relief set, I go 0.2 millimeters at around about the 6th fret. I'm going to take a feeler gauge and we're going to measure the height from the top of the fret to the bottom of the string. And on this side, without pressing anything down or what have you, I'll actually go 0.3 millimeters this side, 0.2 that side. We can go lower, but this gives us a good amount where it's easier to play and it doesn't knock anything out of tune because we're not pressing down too much. So I'm going to take a 0.3 mil, which is this one. We don't have millimeters, we're metric in the United Kingdom or in England. And we're going to have a measure, and that string is way, way high. That is near a 0.7 and 0.3. So string off, we'll take the 0.046. Sizes on there, and we are cutting. First we cut straight, and then we come down at an angle toward the back. Don't go gung ho, take your time. If you cut too much, you're replacing the nut. And we're not too far away with that one. And what we normally do, we'd like to plug into the tuner, which I am. Just turn the black tuner on. And again, we've got a cut. It's a graphite nut on this. It feels like a graph tech. We're very close to where we need to be, but we're still not there yet. No cigar yet, guys. And white file, give it a clean, every couple of strokes. And we're probably just about going to be where we need to be right now. And that. Get a gentle buzz, that is just about perfect. So what we're going to do is now we're going to tidy up. We're going to, again, clean your file, keep it clean. I do have a wild brush I use to keep the files clean. But let's just now gently, I'm not pressing down, I'm just going very, very gently and just making sure that that slot is pinch free. And that should be it on that one. Just a gentle buzz, and that is now low enough. Could go a little bit lower. I'm going to leave that as is. So we'll move on to the next one, the 36. Again, quite high. So we're going to move the strings across. We're going to clean this file, put it back in its pack. Keep your tools clean. That one out of the way. We're going to take the 36. There you go. We're going to do the same again with the next one. Don't go gung ho. That little sitar type sound, that means we've not cut the slot straight yet. So we are going to that looks to be pretty close. Still got more to go. Look in the instruction, get the action as low as you can. That's always the instruction. There has to be a trade-off for balance between fretboards and how low we can go. And also tuning makes a difference, it depends what tuning we're in. The lower you go on tuning, the higher we have to leave the strings, because the lower we go, the less tension and the more vibration. That's looking pretty good there. That's on a 0.3, that's buzzing quite nicely, so let's try 0.25. If we get a very slight buzz at 0.25, I'll be happy, because we need to be about 0.27, 0.28 with this one. Not quite buzzing, so we can go just a little more. Not pressing down, just letting the file do the work. And I think we're going to be where we need to be with that one. That's perfect. Next one, the 26. Don't need to go down as much with that one. So we've got the first two done. I say first two, it's the 5th and 6th strings. So this one, 0.25 is about right. Okay, clean the file, put it away. So you see where we're going with this. Once this is all done, I'll check the height of the 12th fret again, and we can adjust where necessary. Once we've got two outside ones right, we'll reset the radius. So this one, again, another measure. Measure twice, cut once, you've heard it said. Measure more than twice and cut once. So now we're going to go on to the 26. And you see how this is working now. I was just pinching just a little bit because the file is slightly wider than the string that's going in there. A little bit high, but we're not far off. Take your time, always take your time. because if you replace a knot, it's going to be a bitch to get out, and you've got to recarve a new one from scratch. That was perfect. So looking at the last three, got 17, a 13 and a 10. These are all going to need some attention, especially these two. I'm going to do those off camera. It's not going to take me too long to get them done. Once that's done, we'll come back, we'll check the setup, and we should be good to go. So friends, we are all done with this one. It is a Ibanez RG421 satin finish, standard guitar, staggered string through, or the low E staggered. Anyway, fantastic looking guitar. But what have we done? Well, we've levelled a couple of frets that needed a bit of work. We've hammered them back in especially. We've lowered the action, we've set the radius, and we've set the intonation on the saddles. We've set the action at the 12th fret, 1.25mm on the treble, 1.6 on the bass side. We've cut the nut slots, we've tightened every nut and bolt, put a new set of strings on there. Just need to check the height of the pickups, looks pretty good to me. Quite pleased with where they're sitting. Maybe bring the bridge pickup just a little while I'm here, with the strings held down at the last fret, which is the 24th, and just bring that up slightly back. You're about 2mm with the strings pressed down, so that looks pretty good to me. Quite like where that is. Just alter that one ever so slightly. And the guitar plays fantastic. We've got a set of Ernie Ball RPS 10s, reinforced plain strings, RPS, on there, full set, and the guitar is really... Oh, something else we did, we loosened this knob because it was tight. We've got some switch cleaner in the switch and in the pot, so we're all scratch free in there, and it's a lovely guitar, and all Ibanez guitars are lovely. That one is all done, so we're going to move on to the next one. Straight 50 quid for this one. No extra money for anything. So we're going to move on to the next one. Just before I go, remind you of our website, facebook.com/ng17. That's facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. I'm Victor, I'm your fret friend. Until the next time, as always, God bless you, be good to each other, and I'll see you next time.